Baseball isn't just a game, it's a pursuit, a chase full of failure, resilience, and the moments that define who we become. From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is Chasing the Game with Phil Sanchez. Real stories from real players and real coaches who refuse to quit.
Today's guest is someone who spent more than 3 decades chasing baseball, not just on the field, but building something just as important behind the scenes, from starting as a ticket office intern to now leading one of the most respected organizations in all of minor league baseball. Indianapolis Indians president and CEO Randy Lewandowski has seen it all. He's helped shape the experience at Victory Field, guided the franchise through growth, change, and community impact. So what keeps someone chasing the game for more than 30 years? Let's find out. Randy Lewandowski on Chasing the Game.
Don't let high golf rates drive you out of bounds. Save big with the Wish TV Great Golf Club card.
Central Indiana's largest golf club card membership is back for the 8th season with more courses than ever before. Save over 75% on tee times at 27 Central Indiana golf courses. All you need is the Wish TV Great Golf Club card. Cards are valid for the entire 2026 golf season.
Great courses, great savings. Score your Great Golf Club card today.
Randy, good to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate you having me and being here.
What's going on at Victory Field these days? Busy season. It just started a little while ago. Unfortunately, Connor Griffin no longer on the team. I wanted to see him so badly.
You and a lot of others. It was probably the most asked question we got in the last couple weeks of March. We started our season as early as we ever had, March 27th, playing AAA baseball at Victory Field. It wouldn't be uncommon in previous years to play a college game or two that early, but never an Indianapolis Indians game. So it was our earliest start ever. It was buoyed by Connor Griffin being in town. And that question was, well, hey, how long is he going to be here? And how long do I have till I get to see him? And we never know that answer. I would have told people mid-late March, well, you probably got month of April, maybe into May, and it lasted all of 3 home games and 5 total games in AAA baseball. So it's fleeting. It's our job. It's our purpose to move players up through the system. It's great that we get to call Connor an alum of the Indianapolis Indians, but now we hope we don't ever see him back, and that's a weird thing, isn't it?
That is very odd. Have you ever seen anything like that before so quickly, Randy?
Not that quick, no. Paul Skeens was in town 2 years ago. We knew, and starting pitchers are certainly different than position players, but being a pitcher, stretching guys out, mitigating and limiting innings, we knew he was going to be with us for a little while, and they were just biding some time. If you remember, Skeens just started. Gosh, he was throwing an inning or two his first start. By the time he left after 7 or 8 starts, he was up to 5 or 6 innings, and that was, again, just to try to hold him down in regards to innings. So we knew we were going to have a longer leash there, but we did not think Griffin would move through so quickly. But it was really more about a need up in Pittsburgh. Their starting shortstop, Jared Triolo, got hurt. They didn't have great depth on the left side of their infield, and Griffin, while he's probably going to struggle early on at the plate, does bring them enough dynamic athleticism, which we saw in Indianapolis. He's a good defender, and he's got a very good head on his shoulders for being 19, almost 20 years old, to be able to handle the challenges of the major leagues.
Unbelievable.
Good job up there so far. And like I said, I don't think we'll see him back, and we don't want him back because that either means he's not performing or he's been hurt. So we want him to stay in Pittsburgh and be there a long time.
Right. Stay in the Steel City. So pull the curtain back a little bit, Randy. I'm really curious about this. Like, how much communication as the general manager of the Indians do you have with Pittsburgh when all of this stuff is unfolding?
Yeah, I mean, we went down in spring training, and we have, I would say, some pretty candid conversations with more on the minor league development side. They've got a good handle of what's happening up in the major leagues and who's kind of on, that borderline and who might stay in Pittsburgh or who's fighting for a spot or who might be in Indianapolis. With Griffin, he was given every opportunity to win a spot on the major league club coming out of spring. I think they probably intended for him to be in Indianapolis a little bit longer, but with the circumstances I mentioned earlier, I think that just sped up the process, and they believe in his mental challenge or his mental ability to handle those challenges. But There's conversation, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's a weird business model that we don't have much, if any, say on the players that are going to be on the field, and that's why we build our business efforts around the Victory Field experience and what we can offer at the ballpark and create those memories. So there's some conversation, but ultimately they're making all of those decisions, and more or less we're informed, and then we just help put together the transportation and make sure things happen and guys get to where they need to be.
Yeah, and the experience is amazing. We'll get into that a little bit later. Who other is on the team this season that maybe folks, if they're coming out, would be excited to see?
Absolutely. Tamar Johnson's a second baseman. Tamar would have been a first-round pick
before Skeens, right? I think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and he's a young fella. I mean, he was a high school player as well. So we're talking about Connor Griffin, who's 19, 20. Tamar's 22, maybe 23. Still really young for AAA. I'm going to mispronounce his name. Johanneston Nixon Garcia. Pirates got him in a trade from Boston. Another high-ranking prospect. Esmeralda Valdez is off to a really good start with us. He's got tremendous power, was in the Fall League home run contest and did really, really well. So we've got some good young players. We're finding out early that AAA is a little different than AA and some of the other levels that these guys have been in. But a couple good guys there. Antoine Kelly, top-rated pitcher. Again, scuffled a little bit early, but throws 97, 98 as a starting pitcher. So lots of good power arms in the farm system, lots of good talent and ability. We just need to get some experience at AAA to turn things around with the results on the field. On
the major league level, Randy, and I know that you know this, that there's been kind of a resurgence of attention and excitement about the product they're putting out there on the field. Ratings are up all across the board. Are you seeing the same type of enthusiasm when it comes to the minor league experience as well?
Yeah, I think so. I was on a call earlier today with a couple of buddies that are in similar positions as me, and everyone seems to be off to a good start. In the minor leagues and even in the major leagues, weather plays such an important role in what we do all the time, but especially early in the year. But all signs for us are pointing to a really positive 2026. We've had a lot of good buzz. We introduced a new look or rebrand, so to speak, with our logos. That's had us in the news. It's been very, very well received. Griffin, that certainly helps. Lots of news coverage in regards to that. So thank you, Phil, for your coverage. And just everything about it points upward in 2026 because the game has great momentum. The World Baseball side, people were just talking about baseball earlier.
Yeah.
And anytime we can do that, that helps, and it just gets us more top of mind and makes people think about visiting Victory Field at some point this spring or summer.
I love it. And talking, and again, I want to get into the experience in a moment because I think it's one of the best out there. And I've been to a number of AAA stadiums across the country over the years. But another game to really kind of put on your calendar, and one that I know a lot of local people will be looking forward to, is when Max Clark comes here. If he doesn't get called up before, I've heard that game is already sold out, right?
Yeah, but it's not sold out. There's nothing we're going to sell out early. I'm trying to think when they show up. Is it in July?
I think it's July, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a great buzz about him. I mean, he's off to what I remember is a pretty good start up in Toledo. July 7th through 12th. A big part of that is during that homestand for us when Toledo's in town and presumably and hopefully Max Clark will be celebrating Victory Field's 30th anniversary on Saturday, July 11th. So it'll be 30 years to the day. We opened up July 11, 1996, and we're fortunate to be home July 11, 2026. So that's going to be a big celebration day for us. We'll let Max Clark join into that party if he'd like. But really, we're going to celebrate our past, the current status of Victory Field, and we're always looking to the future for what we think is the greatest ballpark in the country.
No doubt about it. That is awesome. Speaking of 30 years, perfect segue to your career, sir. Yes. Started with the organization in 1994. When you started out, Randy, and I know you're from Indiana, Hoosier native, did you ever expect to be with the Indians this long? I mean, take me through your career.
Central Indiana. Wish TV is now live on YouTube TV and Hulu Live, offering more hours of local programming than any other station. Search for Wish TV or look for CW8 on both YouTube TV and Hulu Live to find us. Watch local news, sports, and lifestyle shows live from Wish TV. You can still catch Wish TV free over the air or stream it live on wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile apps. Wish TV, available in more places for the latest news, weather, and sports.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wanted to get in sports coming out of college in 1994. Or 93. I started in 94, as you said. You know, it was hard to get your foot in the door nowadays. It was probably harder back then just because we didn't have the internet. I mean, You did everything the old-fashioned way, and you sent in paper resumes, and you hoped you got a call to get an interview. And, I fell in love with it like I thought I might and I would. It was different to adapt to the minor league aspect where it's not necessarily about winning and losing, but about that experience that we've talked about. But I've just gravitated towards the event-based business. It's a lifestyle business. We're working weekends and evenings and summer times, but that always got me excited. And to be able to put on anywhere between 70 and 75 home games a year, that's vacillated over the years. I still get excited about it and have worked my way up in various areas from the ticket office to the director of operations running the stadium to then managing more people and then the organization. And it's been a thrill. It's been great. The precedent was set. Max Schumacher, he's still alive, but really started to not be around as much in 2016. That would have been 60 years from when he started. So there's a history there that long lineage. Bruce Schumacher's been with the club since the late 80s. Howard Kellman, our radio broadcasters, it's his 50th season, 7,500 games. So it's kind of bred in our organization that there are some long timers, and I'm just fortunate enough to be one of those as well. Any
moments that stand out to you, top of the head, that maybe are that you would like to share with the viewers and the listeners?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about winning and losing not mattering, but my first year we won the championship. We won it again in 2000. So I went in two within 6 or 7 years. I'm like, man, this is easy. I get rings all the time, and haven't sniffed it since, Phil. So, anytime you can win and have those kinds of celebrations is really cool. Obviously, moving into Victory Field, such a huge moment for the franchise. We always did well over on West 16th Street and Busch Stadium, but, I mean, really catapulted our organization into another realm. And to be a part of that opening, certainly special. We've hosted an all-star game. Non-Indians, we hosted the big Super Bowl event for DirecTV. That was a feather in a cap, being an ops guy, being able to do some of those crazy things. And just the number of people, great people that we've interacted with, both on our staff, but our fans, our game day staff. Those are the things. It's those daily joys and wins that I think make it meaningful and that we can give back to the community as much as we do.
Let's talk about Victory Field a little bit. As we mentioned a couple of times here, one of the best ballparks in the entire country. I don't think anyone can make that or have a good argument against that being correct. As we do this interview, it's almost mid-April. You have a lot on tap, I would imagine, for the upcoming season for the fans, right?
We do. Always a strong, robust promotional schedule with our Star Wars nights and Marvel and Harry Potter and all those other kinds of things. Pirates Prospects, where the team comes up and signs autographs on the concourse. Friday night fireworks, all those other things. But yeah, it all revolves around our building that we take great pride in, as we've talked about the 30th anniversary. And it's what we like to consider Victory Field to be Indianapolis's biggest and best outdoor gathering space, especially in the summertime. And we're going to look forward to welcoming almost 600,000. Our goal is 600,000 folks through our gates this year.
You have the 4th of July game again this year. Randy, I haven't looked ahead yet.
No, we do not. It's the first time in that 30 years that we're not.
Wow.
We ended up getting the July 11th game. It's a scheduling oddity that the 4th falls on a Saturday. And as Major League Baseball puts together our schedule, they've done a really good job since MLB took over our scheduling and really running the minor leagues back in 2021. where they've been mindful. July 3 and 4 are really important to minor league clubs because it's about attendance, and in most cases, most every club is going to sell out, their Independence Day celebration. And so they've been able to split those days, and you get a regional travel partner, for instance, Louisville. We would split with Louisville, where they'd be home on the 3rd, we'd be home on the 4th, and you would split it with a couple games before that date and a couple after as you switch cities. With it being on a Saturday and splitting the weekend, it became very problematic of how that was going to work this year. So Major League Baseball approached all the clubs and said, hey, let us know if you prefer to have July 4th in 2026, if you prefer to have it in 2027. If you don't have a preference, let us know. And just the way it worked out, we didn't necessarily have a preference because we knew at some point our streak was going to end. And it worked out that with us having that 30th anniversary that I've mentioned a few times already, that's going to be like our July 4th game. We'll shoot fireworks. We're going to do a lot of great stuff celebrating that entire weekend. So no July 4th, first time in Victory Field's history, but hopefully we've got a good capstone on July 11th.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's surprising. That's interesting. Quickly, the Indians are more than just a minor league team. They're also a big part of this community as well. And I know you're heavily involved in the community via the RBI program and other things that you folks do. Talk about that a little bit. How important is that to the organization and you yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's our people and our culture are probably number one. When we just did a 5-year strategic plan, certainly our operational efficiencies and how we manage the ballpark is important, but right there, when we pulled our staff and put together our plans, was our community aspect. And we have our own 501c3 Indianapolis Indians charities that operates on its own. A lot of things we do in park help support that. Like when we wear some of those crazy jerseys, we'll auction them off, and those proceeds go to Indianapolis Indians charities. We've got a big annual fundraising event named Swing that happens on the last Friday of each September. This will be the 4th iteration of it coming up in this September, and that's our big signature fundraiser, and it's gaining great momentum. Had over 3,000 people there last year to raise over $500,000. So lots of really good things, and then we take that money and then pour it back into the community. We focus strongly on youth development. You mentioned the Indy RBI program. That's baseball and softball for inner city kids. And it's $25 to play, and if they can't afford it, we'll cover that registration fee. We're populating Indy's parks with these recreational leagues, and our hope is to further solidify Indy RBI and see how we can grow it and populate more parks, because a park is only as good as its population, and you need people moving through it, and there's no better way to do it than kiddos playing baseball and softball.
I love it. Hey, Randy, we'll leave it right there. I appreciate you taking some time, and good luck this season.
All right, Phil, appreciate it. Enjoyed being on, and look forward to bumping into you at some point.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Take care.
This is Chasing the Game with Phil Sanchez. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, and be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network, online at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.